Alrighty, back at you with another day in the shop today. Yesterday, we got the skid plate for the transmission started, and today we are going to get this thing done, hopefully, and in the truck for good. So, I'm excited about that. I'm going to start working on it. Got a lot of welding to do, top and bottom, a little bit more bending, shaping, all the fun stuff. So, anyway, stick along. It's going to be a good one. So I wanted to know the weight that I had. It looks like 45.5 pounds when I started here. And I was curious if I would add any weight by welding. But here's what we started with here. We got the whole bottom welded to that first bend. And you can see it's welded on the sides too. And then started cutting. I cut a little bit off the front because it was a little bit long. And, you know, kind of trim the sides down. It's a lot of staring and cutting and making sure this thing was not an easy one to build, so a lot of thinking went into this one. And more cutting. Gonna start bending and cut off a little bit down on this side, and then I bent it up as well. Still got the cutting wheel gauge going. How many cutting wheels do you think I went through as I was using this? I'll tell you at the end of this video, and I'll show you the stack, give you a little you know, teaser. So still bending here, still cutting, still bending. Welding, no, that's grinding. I cut some holes. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys some stuff. It's cool. All right, well, I've been cutting again, and this is what I came up with here. This is what we're gonna look like from the bottom. So I cut most of these, and then I bent them, and I'm gonna line some of these up. I'm gonna weld right in there, weld right in there. Weld across this seam here. Kind of took the grinder and made them a little bit bigger. I didn't like the way that this was just a really small seam, and so it just kind of laid on top of it. So I wanted to make this one bigger so it'll sink into it a little bit. And yeah, that's gonna be the front of it. Pretty crazy looking. It's a lot of work, a lot of work. So after another test fit, it was time to weld, and weld I did. I did this probably a little bit fast. I had this whole piece very hot, and I had to take a break in the middle of it. But I did some really good, like, long runs, and I've never really welded long runs like that. Like, look how long that was, like 10 inches that I did. And, you know, I'm kind of slower than that. Now I'm just temping, noticing, hey, I need to stop. So I gave it some time to rest, and yeah, then we flipped her over, finished some stuff on the inside, and I started looking at some other things I could do to brace. So I built a little brace right there. You can see me welding it in right here. It's kind of like a little cool air pocket to get air in and water out and all that stuff. And then I decided I want to brace over there, so I cut that piece and made that work over there. And I ended up running out of wire, and so I had to go. I had 025 wire in the shop, so I had like 8 inches still to weld on that one brace. And so, you know, I just did it. I did it with 025. I turned the thing way up and dumped a whole bunch of wire on it. And here's the final weight. So what I cut off, we ended up at 44.5. So it's not too bad, I don't think. What do you think? Alrighty, here it is. Can't even hardly see it. There it is. It's in there. Yes, I missed on the hole for the drain plug. It's fine. I made it work. Other than that, pretty sweet. Got the bolts in back here. 4 bolts in either, or 2 bolts in either of the control arm mounts. And yeah, all the good stuff. I'm pretty excited. This is stinking awesome. As I'm cleaning up here, if anybody's curious, how many cutting wheels do you think I went through? Here's the stack. Guess in the comments right now. I'm going to give you some time. I'll put the answer a little bit later, okay? You're going to pause the video. I know you guys. I know you're going to pause and tell me. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Yeah, I'll tell you later. All right, so the answer to the cutting wheel question, I went through 8. I broke one when I dropped the grinder. But yeah, I burned 8 of these things, cutting that skid plate out for the transmission. That one was a lot of work. Alrighty, just took it for the first test drive, and no weird vibrations or anything like that. So I'm happy. That is it. That is fully skid plated Ford Excursion. It's also bobbed and boat-sided, but skid plates are cool. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. This has been a long 2 weeks for me. I put out a bunch of videos for you, so if you haven't watched all the way through, you can see exactly what I did to build up to actually putting the skid plates on and then setting them up. So I did a little less filming on the test fitting of this front one on the transmission because it's really hard to get it in and out. It's really tight. But I like it tight. I want it tight because I want it to hold those control arms really nice. So I'm really happy with it. Really glad to have it all safetied under there and make sure I'm not putting holes in stuff with rocks. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you on the next one.